Good day. My name is Ed Boquillan. I'm the superintendent of Minuteman Regional Vocational School District. I'm here to give you a brief overview of our FY23 proposed budget for Dover. We have also on our website a full budget book with more detailed information, as well as a copy of this presentation. Our school-wide goals at Minuteman have been pretty much the same for the last 8 to 9 years. We do look at them every year, reorder them, reprioritize them, and as we can see, our number one priority going forward, as it is in most schools, all schools, is to provide a healthy, safe, and supportive culture, promoting teacher leadership, using data to improve student outcomes, using intelligent technology to enhance learning and teaching, and one of our core values is to integrate academic and CTE curriculum, expand project-based learning, and continue to maintain a rigorous integration of literacy across all disciplines. Our overall budget for FY23 is up a little less than 5%, but our assessments to our member towns are going up significantly, and I hope to explain why that is. If we break out our overall budget a little bit, the operating is 6.5% increase. Our operating capital is up about 8.9%. That includes our ESCO lease as well as a bond payment on the lights that were approved for the fields. Our borrowing debt, because of the way timing of borrowing has happened, is going to be actually down this coming fiscal year. Again, our budget priorities are to protect student, staff, and health, continue to promote high-quality career and technical education, support the academy model at Minuteman, increase enrollment capacity of the facility. I'll talk more about that in a second. Our athletic fields will be fully operational in the spring of 2022. We expect that operations and management of those will impact the FY23 budget, as well as revenue from these activities on our new synthetic athletic fields. And we close out the MSBA project, which is important in terms of finalizing all our borrowing and getting our final reimbursement from the state. The big drivers in the budget coming up are teacher's contract. We're in the third year of a 3-year contract, 2% plus steps and levels for our staff. Health insurance, Minuteman is in a health trust with 4 other regional vocational schools. They have not set their rates yet for FY23, so we're carrying a conservative 10% increase in health insurance. Our transportation vendor has a built-in CPI increase of 5%. Building utilities, we're planning on a 5% increase there as well. And career and technical education supply and material cost increases have come home to rest. The supply chain issues across the country are being felt by regional vocational schools because we use all the supplies and materials that industry uses, and we've had to accommodate some increases and delays in getting materials and supplies in. We're contributing more to our OPEB liability. We have 2 aging field trip worksite buses that we're needing to replace, looking into electrical buses. And we continue to contribute to our capital stabilization account. The story for FY23 is a really good story. It's a great story, actually, one we anticipated, but now we're having to remind folks of what we built at Minuteman and what we're continuing to build. Our enrollment is growing, and our member enrollment is growing significantly. You can see we're projecting accommodating 700 students in the school this fall, 620 from our 9 member towns, and 80 remaining non-member students. I'll remind you that the design enrollment of the new Minuteman school was 628. So we've exceeded the design enrollment already. And enrollment in general has shifted. It's greater, almost all in-district enrollment. So that means out-of-district enrollment is decreasing. Out-of-district tuition revenue is decreasing. Out-of-district capital fee revenue is decreasing. This is resulting in increased assessments to the member towns, but it reduces our per pupil assessments. This is a very busy kind of slide, but there's a lot of information here, and it tells the story of FY23 really well. You'll see this blue line across the top. That's the millions of dollars of non-member tuition revenue that we've had to offset member town assessments. And below that, you'll see the 880, the 1212. This red line has been the amount of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, that we've had from non-member capital fee to reduce member town assessments. And you can see the deep purple is non-member town enrollment decreasing. This agua blue color is going up, and then the green line across the top is 628. That's the design enrollment of the school. So this year, enrollment has increased pretty much across the board in each of our 9-member towns, and there's been a corresponding increase in assessments in most cases. This chart here tries to identify how the enrollment tracks with the change in assessments. You can see in Acton, they've had a 32% increase in enrollment over the last couple of years, and you'll see that they've had about a 30% increase in their assessment. Now, Bolton has had a very huge increase in enrollment percentage-wise, but they haven't had a corresponding increase in their assessment because we use a 4-year rolling average to create assessments, to take the nosedives and the spikes out of it. You can see Dover has, which sends very few students, so 1 or 2 students can make a big difference in enrollment. Enrollment has dropped 25%. I believe in this budget that accounts for 1 student, but the assessment has dropped slightly for Dover because your 4-year rolling average is kicking in. Happy to answer any questions in detail, but this is generally shows the story of our FY23 budget. As of last week, or I should say the 19th of January, under year of graduation 26, these are the applications that we have for the coming fall, for the entering freshman class. And you can see total applications is up over all of last year's applications. In-district is trending to increase as well. We still get out-of-district enrollment, but we doubt that this year we'll be able to accommodate any out-of-district students, with the exception of 1 or 2 that may transfer in. And we're only going to be accepting a class of 175. Last year, in the last 2 years, 3 years, we've had pretty healthy enrollment in our 9th grade. We just don't have the academic space to do that in this coming year. Our communication goals: maintain member enrollment. Our Minuteman Technical Institute is growing. That's our adult post-secondary program that operates in the evening and on Saturdays. You'll see a new website shortly. We're just increasing our outreach to alumni, to legislators, to our member towns. We're also looking at working more closely with students in the 6th and 7th grade to understand what their CTE career and technical ed opportunities are. See our staffing additions for FY23. We have 2 additional support specialists, professionals I should say, counselors, social workers, or school psychologists. We still haven't identified the positions specifically, but social and emotional support is definitely needed going into our 3rd year of COVID. Web and programming teacher has been added. We had a 1 teacher department. Enrollment now requires 2. We've gone to a robotics and automation aide to help in the expansion of our logistics engineering program. In the district office, we're adding a support specialist and 0.5 FTE library and reading aide. We're not rehiring these positions. An ISS, that's an internal school suspension professional, the Department of Ed requires if you have an internal suspension program, that you have a licensed instructor managing that. We have so few students in internal suspension, we believe we can cover this with substitute teachers or other teachers. And we're not hiring an HR director. So the net increase in FTE in this budget is only 1.5. Our Cte Priorities, our animal science program, enters its second year. Our logistics engineering program is developing. We just received a grant from the Capital Skills Grant Program for another $150,000 to buy equipment and materials in the logistics engineering space. We're making some workplace clothing available to all students. That's more of an equity issue. And then credentialing, which all students have to access, had been in grants. We are now moving that credentialing expenditures into the district budget. Building enrollment beyond the design enrollment of 628. We certainly have the interest amongst our 9-member towns to accommodate 800 students, hopefully by the fall of 2023, a year from this fall. 2 strategies to do that. Not going into debt is the overall goal. We want to continually fund the capital stabilization account. We project that as of this July, we'll have $1.4 million in that account. We have 2 capacity building projects in progress. One is the expansion of our north building to expand the metal fabrication and welding program. We expect that to open in the fall of 2022. The second strategy is really to leverage strategic partnerships with business and industry. Around our veterinary assisting animal science program, we have a building on the east end of campus which is now vacant. It's about 16,000 square feet. It could accommodate an on-site vet clinic as well as 5 to 6 additional classrooms. Those 2 projects alone we believe we can get done without borrowing more money and to increase our capacity to 800 students. Shifting gears to OPEB, our estimated liability as of this coming June is $26 million. I'll note that 2 years ago, in 2020, it was $32 million. We have an OPEB trust fund that we contribute to annually. The current balance is about $470,000. Over the next 5 years, we are going to be contributing more aggressively to that trust fund. The school committee approved this recommendation at its last meeting. And you'll see in FY23 there's a bump in the contribution to the trust fund. That's based upon the fact that our ESCO project lease will be sunsetting. And there's about $450,000 a year, between $425 and $450 a year, that would become available to the school committee for other uses. $300,000 of that is targeted for OPEB. Again, our budget summary. Overall, it's a good budget, funds our priorities, keeps us moving in the right direction. And you can see the assessment for Dover. It's about $197,000, and these are the components of that assessment. Dover did vote to exclude the project debt, which is about $85,000 from the from your tax base. I'd be happy to answer any questions through email. There are some other detailed slides that I'll make available as well. We appreciate the support of Dover and look forward to continuing to serve students of Dover by providing them with high-quality career and technical education in really a state-of-the-art facility with some amazing staff. Thank you.